Wow, that was really interesting information about groundwater. Kind of crazy to think about, but I'm confused. So, what is the relationship between groundwater and rivers? Are they the same thing?
It's such a good question, and it's not a completely straightforward answer, but get comfortable and I'll tell you what I know. Here's round two. Quick refresher. Groundwater is a term that describes the droplets and pockets of water wedged between soil, sand, and rocks. In Arizona, this source of water is super important and makes up nearly 40% of water used in the state. Since you're pretty familiar with groundwater by now, let's take a second to better understand surface water. In a lot of ways, you're already familiar with surface water. The Salt River and San Pedro River, Roosevelt Lake, and Lake Havasu are great examples of surface water. Even the water running through a wash after a monsoon constitutes surface water. It's a bit more complicated than that because the relationship between groundwater and surface water is complicated. In fact, groundwater often becomes surface water as it reaches the surface and becomes a river or spring. Think of groundwater and surface water a little bit like the Earth and the Moon. While they appear to move separately, changes to the one have a big impact on the other. Groundwater and surface water are two separate things, but they're very closely related. The two give and take from each other. After water falls on the earth and rushes through streets or soaks into the soil, some of it tunnels deeper underground to restore aquifers and wells. While groundwater is perhaps slower to return the favor, it does something else in the meantime. Depending on how long it takes for surface water to percolate and where and how groundwater is stored before it leaches out of sand and rock as the base flows of streams and rivers, it is often returned cooler and cleaner because of the temperature underground and the minerals and chemicals that come from the rocks that store the water.
So, what about rivers?
Rivers, those miraculous bodies of water we love so much, are fed by groundwater where it meets the surface. Rivers in Arizona rely on both to continue providing all of the vital human and ecological services that they do, like helping water trees and plants, providing drinking water for animals and habitat for fish, keeping us cool, watering our fields, and providing critical water for drinking. Without surface water and groundwater, our rivers will dry up. And if our rivers dry up, so too do our fields and our cities. It's all linked together, and we're an important part of the equation. So what can you do? In short, you can use less, because as Arizona grows, the pressure on our water supply increases. But there's more, and to truly solve these problems, we need collective action by people who care. To stay informed, follow us.